Hello, welcome to Lady Talk. Alright, so before we continue and I jump into the sign, just a quick reminder your rising or ascendant portion of your natal chart is basically how you carry yourself through everyday situations, how others may view you within society's standards or social settings, and also, could touch base on certain physical characteristics that you may have been born with. Alright, so we have the last sign here, which is Aquarius. Alright, so genuinely, whether masculine or feminine energy, they tend to have very prominent bone structure. It's cheekbones. Usually regardless of face structure, naturally they usually have squarish faces, but outside of that, either or they have that chiseled thing going on. Also very muscular or lean in stature and tall. However, the masculine energies tend to be freakishly tall for whatever reason, just tall as fuck. But naturally, too, they tend to have something odd about their appearance or off or deemed unattractive by society's standards in a sense. Because that's just what they rule. They're the aliens of the zodiac. They're the most unique, but they kind of revel in it. They really usually don't give a fuck. Yeah, they usually don't. They kind of process emotions differently regardless of the placements. All Aquarius aspects is kind of process emotions differently. Well, I'm not gonna say that because usually everybody has Aquarius in their chart or one of their charts. They just don't know it. But it really depends on the placement. Either or though, they also rule the ankle, so they have to be sure, not to sprain or have any injuries in regards to that. Also any swelling as well, because that's something that they tend to, uh, that tends to happen with age, so they just have to be sure to combat that if they can. Also, they're very good listeners when they're really interested in you, because again, this is the most detachable out of all the signs, to be honest, not even just the air signs, just all the signs. But once they're really into you, they're very inquisitive. They really care to listen to your aspirations, your ambitions, your upbringing, shit like that. They really fuck with you in a sense. But yeah, also they're very chill. They're very chill, but they have no. I think the most tolerable out of all the air signs is probably Libra, and has the most patience as well. But they have even less patience than the Gemini. Like the Aquarius really has no tolerance for no fuck shit. Anything that's a gray area, they don't want to deal with it. Anything that's confusing, they don't really give a fuck about it, especially if it knocks them off track or fucks up their focus. Because they are very analytical as well as spiritual, so they mix the two. Therefore, if it doesn't make sense on either end, they really don't. I don't know, because it's weird, because it's kind of like it has to make sense logically and both spiritually to them for them to fuck with it. I don't know how to explain it. I don't know. I guess that's just their esoteric nature. Um, but yeah. Also, they're very straightforward as well. So if they especially as far as communication is concerned, so if they for whatever reason go quiet, or they just cut ties on a situation, quit a job, just do something cold turkey, they have nothing to say, dead ass. Also, let's see, they're really big on sticking to their word in a sense. Words have a lot of value to them, so they're like a say what you mean and mean what you say type of individual, or type of thought process going on even to others in a sense, because they are the humanitarian of the zodiac, just period. So they really are big on support, you know what I mean, on basically I guess loyalty in a sense, because their other side is the Leo, so they really have this thing with pride. They want to know that they can be proud of you, and they want you to be proud of them in a sense. So it really depends on the situation. Um, but yeah, I think. Oh, I think the last thing that I do have to say is that they need to be constantly stimulated. It doesn't matter what the situation is, and it's crazy because this is the loner as well. Just period. But alone or with around a crowd, because they rule crowds, so they have no choice but to be around crowds within their at some point, or work within some sort of super social setting, so they have to revert and recharge when it comes to isolating themselves. But outside of that, they definitely need to be constantly stimulated or always, I was about to say activated. I don't know what that means. They just always have to be, it has to be depth to a situation. Like there has to be more. It just can't be some basic shallow shit, surface level type shit. Also they're very idealistic. That's also another trait that they rule. So, if you ever needed any good ideas, any unique insight, any just a futuristic or different or unique way of doing things, someone with this aspect, especially within the rising, would be a great, individual to be around, just period, because they genuinely can think of some new off the wall shit. Also, it's crazy because could even be in like comparison to Virgo. They genuinely come off as like wallflowers, but Aquarius is actually like the fucking party. They're actually really big on parties and shit like that, or they just like to have a good time and have fun. But yeah, that's basically all I have. Hopefully, if you have that specific aspect in your chart, it was able to give you some insight and allow you to look deeper into yourself. Thank you.